Our boy's going to find something and win 2 premierships and get the respect that they deserve and we search for? Or are we just going to fade out?
Mark Thompson celebrating 150 years of the Geelong Footy Club and sending a message to his players. He's been good enough to come up the road to have a chat to us on the couch. Bomber, welcome.
Jared, Mike, James.
How are you feeling?
I'm okay, yeah, pretty good.
I reckon you're a bit grumpy tonight. You haven't been the same when you sit down.
Well, we have lost 4 out of the last 8 games, so
Can I take you back
to be a little bit grumpy.
Can I take you back to round 15? You rested players en masse, and Kilda did the same thing 2 weeks ago. Both clubs have struggled since. If you had your time again, would you do it?
Well, we haven't really rested them. We just the game after St Kilda took a lot out of the players. We had to come up in 6 days and travel as well, so there was a lot of players that pulled up really sore and couldn't play. So it wasn't a rest. Obviously, if it had been a final, maybe some of them would have played, but there's still some that wouldn't. But time again, well, you would have liked to have had more players play, yeah.
Coaches have got supposedly all the answers, and yet just looking at Geelong, this to me looks like only one group of people can fix it, not the coaching staff, only the players. Is that too simplistic, or do you think that's maybe on the money?
I think you're on the money. I think any group, that it's up to the players. They actually the ones that play, so they determine whether the team wins or loses most of the time.
You went into the grand final, Bomber, with probably 2, maybe 3 players clearly underdone, maybe injured. Chapman, Stokes and perhaps Kelly hadn't enough work.
Yeah.
You're going to face a similar situation this year in the final series, aren't you? You've got a lot of blokes who haven't had enough work.
Well, Ottens is probably one, maybe Kelly, but the rest have played a fair bit of footy. And I don't know whether footy's changed, but it just seems like it's a really long year. It's played, like we've even done stats earlier, midpoint, and the game's even got faster this year on our record. So, for them to... The mistake we made last year was that we kept playing players up until the finals, and by the time they reached the higher intensity games, they just couldn't adapt with the speed. So
Chapman wasn't right in the grand final, was he?
Probably not, no.
Brad Ottens has to play this week, does he not? Good stats in the VFL at the weekend? Yeah,
look, it's been an amazing year for Brad. He got injured early, and he just didn't improve. And I think 4 weeks ago, he's had 4 games in the VFL. We played him, and he was just hobbling around. But last week clearly showed that he probably turned the corner. And what are his stats, Mike?
Nice of you to ask, Mark. 43 hit-outs, 6 clearances, 14 possessions, 7 tackles, 2 marks. They sound good enough to me for the bloke to be playing in the main game this weekend.
Yeah, he probably will play. And I didn't know any of the stats, but I was at the game.
He will play.
Yeah, he will play.
A lot of your senior players are great decision makers. Matthew Scarlett's talked about as a leader out on the ground. You have given them a lot of autonomy in how to run their game style in the past. Have you given that in the last 4 or 5 weeks and going forward, or do you now start to tell them exactly what you want them to do?
I think we give them the power to make decisions out on the ground. We can never take that away, because that's one of our strengths. We've got a group that's experienced, that have the ability to play some great footy, but it's not as if they're just doing what they want. We discuss it as a group, and we say, well, if we're going to play Fremantle, this is Fremantle's strengths, how should we counter it? And we make group decisions based on that, and that's been the case for about 3 years, and it'll be no different the next 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks, however long we last.
Mark, this time last week you said for us not to be fooled by Steve Johnson's gait. You said that's just particular to him.
Well, he hasn't changed his running, has he?
No, he hasn't. But 2 days later you left him out of your team because he wasn't ready to play. Now, has he got a problem, or has he just got a funny gait?
No, he's got a problem. But it's not how he warms up, is how he's been sort of warming up. He just runs funny. And
that's his just a funny gait, is it? He looked there like a man of 75.
He's a funny man. Yeah. Look here.
Is he going to need an operation on that hip at the end of the year?
He probably will, yeah.
So what's your expectations of him?
Our expectations are that he has been sore, and he played with it for 3 or 4 weeks before he stopped playing. And then we went and seen a few specialists, and he's got a bit of a problem with his hip, and some of his muscles around the hip were starting to not get activated when he exercised, so he's done a bit of a program to try and strengthen those muscles up, so that, if he comes back, and he will play this week, I'm pretty sure, he'll get through. We need players in September that are not only going to be able to take the field, but take the field and play well, and that's what we're gearing up for.
Can I ask you where the spark is going to come from? Do you get the players together? Do the players get together themselves? Well, I mean, who generates it? Who makes the decision that the ship's got to turn?
Wish I had the box of electricity, mate. I could just create lots of sparks, but it's not. It's the players. It's got to be player driven.
Yeah.
And to be honest, like we've been winning games for a long time, and the momentum of winning 50 out of 55 or 51 out of 56, that sort of stopped, and that's been a good thing for us. We haven't really played that great footy since, but